Hi folks, how you all doing? Crosster6 here. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I hope your life is not being blighted by this terrible COVID-19 coronavirus. And if you are, I wish you a speedy recovery, or any of your family members that may have got it. World's gone mad, hasn't it? It has. It's gone mad at the moment with all of this rubbish that's going around. It seems to be that economies are just falling into the abyss. People losing jobs, firms going to the wall, businesses going to the wall. It's worrying times, I have to say. But anyway, on with today. We're talking about the update 6.0. But before we get into it, if you're an old subscriber of mine, and all of a sudden you one day woke up and found that my channel disappeared, it's because I was hacked off and I ended up deleting it, and then the next morning thinking, oh, what have you done? You worked hard at getting that to where it was, so start the channel again. So I recreated the channel again. So if you are an old subscriber and you enjoyed my stuff, my banter, me waffling on about all manner of pish, then by all means you're welcome to resubscribe again if you so wish. And if you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy my content and it inspires you to hit that like and subscribe button. But anyway, on with this update. What do I think of it? Well, I'm not overly impressed with it, I've got to be honest, and I think a lot of people feel exactly the same way. And if you haven't had a chance, go into the World of Tanks console forum and read some of the lively comments, shall we say, about the update. Now, there's many things about World of Tanks. Now, I've been playing this pretty much from the day it came onto console, thereabouts, and I've had pretty much every tank in the game, so I'm you know, seasoned player. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I would just say I've got many battles under my belt, and for me personally, this is a game that's supposed to be about enjoyment and fun. And this was a great game, and it really was. And what attracted me to this game was the fact that it had that World War II theme, with all the different World War II vehicles on the battlefield and battling it out and duking it out with one another. And you may win victorious, and other times you lose. Excuse me. So over the years, obviously Wargaming has had to try and change it to keep up to date and bring in new ideas and new concepts, which I accept, and they're a business and they're there to make a profit. And if they don't turn a profit, then they're not going to be a business for very long. So I get that, and I've spent a lot of money on this game, a hell of a lot of money, like many other people. And so I would say, because, you know, I've been playing this game from day one, I've seen such a change in the game. Not all for the better. Some has, but a lot hasn't. You know, things like tracks and all this, tanks on the middle of a wrestling ring and all that kind of rubbish, which was in previous videos, which you won't be able to get now because they're all gone. But neither here nor there. The top and bottom of it is the update 6.0. I have some issues with it, and so I'm going to work my way through the issues. Now, let's just take it from the perspective of a new player, and you've just come into this. There's a game called War Thunder. You're probably already aware of it, and it used to be, or the thought process was that War Thunder kind of chased after the tail of World of Tanks, Wargaming. And Wargaming obviously prided themselves in the fact that this was a World War II scenario battle type faced game. Which was brilliant. It really was. It was brilliant. And why they just seem to be going off that concept, I don't know. I've no idea. But they had. And now it seems to be that they've done a complete 360 and are now, you know, chasing after the tail of War Thunder. Because that's what this feels like to me now, is War Thunder, with the way they've got this all set out. So what are the issues that I've got with this? Well, I don't think, as a garage, I'm not overly bothered about the garage. I don't really care about that. What I'm more concerned about is the in-game, you know, on the battlefield, and because that's where it counts. The garage, so what? It doesn't really matter whether there's a lot of information there or not. But there is certain bits of information that you do need. So say you're going to buy a tank. Let's go into the tech tree, for instance. So let's just, I don't know, let's just choose a nation. Let's go the United Kingdom, for instance. So if I'm new to this game, then I'm not going to have a clue what kind of tank the Cruiser Mark IV is, because it doesn't tell me. And if you look at the in the centre of the icon, right at the bottom there's like a little white greyed out bar which says Cruiser 4, but there's like a little icon next to it to the left that normally would tell you whether it's a medium tank, a light tank, a tank destroyer, or an SPG, and it's very difficult to see. And if you know, you'd easily miss that. If you own the tank, it's fairly easy because you've got the icon there and you can see it because it's not greyed out. So they need to do away with that. But one of the big issues I have, so let's just go, for instance, into the FV4202, the Tier 10 medium tank. Now it tells me the penetration values on it. It tells me the damage output on it. It tells me the hit points and the maximum speed the tank will get to, and the vision range and the concealment element, which again is quite confusing for a lot of people, is the still concealment. What do you mean by the still concealment? Does that mean when I'm sat behind a bush or something? Do you see what I mean? So people are going to get confused by that and start asking questions. But if I'm looking at a tank with the intention of trying to either grind up the tech tree line or to indeed buy that tank, I need more information. I need more information about that tank, as in like gun depression, gun elevation, you know, that kind of thing. Now, if we go into the inspect vehicle, and I like the fact, so if we go into the armour viewer, I like the fact that the armour viewer has been updated. I like that because it gives you a really good idea of you know, where to put your tank on the battlefield, whether it needs to be hull down, is it good at side scraping, you know, the best way of utilising this vehicle out on the battlefield where it counts. And I love the fact that you can work your way through all the different elements of it. I love that. I really like that, and I think that's a big improvement. So that's a definite thumbs up for me, definite. But if I go into the module viewer, again, I like it. I think it's great where it shows you where all the various different parts of the tank is. I think it's brilliant, but it still doesn't give you enough information. And this is the problem I have. Yes, it tells me it's the 105mm Royal Ordnance L7A1 main armament. It tells me the rate of fire. It tells me the accuracy at 100 metres. It tells me the damage output per round does. And it tells me the penetration values. But it doesn't tell me the gun depression or the gun elevation. So is this going to be a ridge fighter or not? I don't know, because it doesn't tell me. You know, so you go into the ammo types and it'll tell you there, you know, for your standard rounds and your premium rounds. And it'll tell you the penetration values, and it tells you the damage output and the hit points and all this kind of stuff. But whereas before you had different coloured icons that differentiated an APCR from a high explosive, you know, composite rigid rounds, you'd have all them different icons. Now it's just brown and white. And to me, that just sucks. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. And, you know, for your appearance, you can still, as before, where you could put your camouflage and your emblems and inscriptions and flag and all that if you wanted to. That's all fine. And upgrades, again, if you can upgrade the vehicle, you can start to work your way through the upgrades. And if you go to your loadout on the vehicle, again, it'll bring out things like your modules, your equipment, consumables and ammo. But again, the ammo, look, it's just, can you differentiate the difference between all of them? I can't. I wouldn't have a clue, because even if you highlight them, look, nothing, it doesn't tell you anything. It really doesn't tell you anything. So for me personally, that's something that I really don't like. I don't like that. And the other thing that they've brought in, which again, I find is very frustrating. Now, if you've been playing this game for as long as I have, for over the years, over the many thousands of games, and I think I've got about 70,000 games now, I've built my crews up, and I built a lot of my crews up to, you know, 16, 17 skill base throughout all that time for my commanders and the crew within the vehicle. And what did Wargaming decide to go and do? If you go into your commanders, so let's take, for instance, let's go into a tank. Let's have a look. Let's go into the captured KV one. Let's go to the commanders. Now, if you look on the right hand side, George Prawn, that's a good name. I've now only got 9 slots that I can use. So I had this one fully decked out with all my crew skills. Fully decked out. And now I'm down to 9. So I've actually lost crew skills that I'd built up over a long period of time. And now I've only got 9 to choose from. So okay, let's go into that then. Let's go into this commander and let's have a look. So if we just, for instance, we'll do a couple. Quick learner, 10% increase to commander XPN from battle. What does that say to me? Well, it means more XP. Does that mean I need it or I don't need it? Is that going to be good for the tank? Is it going to make the tank perform better out on the battlefield? So what about Born Leader, which, you know, to you and I is brothers in arms. 10% increase to skill effectiveness and crew performance. Oh, that crew performance, so that means they're going to be better out on the battlefield. So, yeah, I better choose that one then. And what about this one then? Last stand. Last stand. Well, I don't want to be last stand. I want to win. 25% increase to crew performance when under 10 HP. Or does that mean if my tank is just about to die then that I get an increase in my crew skills? Do I need that or don't I? Oh, I don't know. I'm not too sure. Rapid loading. Well, yeah, perhaps I should. Sorry, how quickly does this thing reload? Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to come out of all of this and have a look. Oh, God, I've got to come all the way back again. Let's have a look. Capture KV1. So, okay, let's... oh, God. How is it I find out about that? How is it I do that? Do I do that? There we go. Oh, look, there it is there. Look, there's my loadout. Oh, there's my gun there. It'll tell me. Will it tell me what my reload time is? Oh, no, it doesn't tell me. So, hang on. So, how do I find out where my reload time is? Oh, it's not telling me. It's not giving me information. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so confusing. And this is what I don't like about it. It really is confusing. And a lot of people... and certainly my friends that I've spoken to since this update's come in, and we've played every night pretty much now for the last 7 years, it's ruined it. It just, there's not enough information, and it's all wishy-washy, and you know, you got to try and find your way around. And I get the fact is that, you know, new things come in, and it's not going to please everybody all of the time. I get that, and I accept that. But, you know, if you've got something that worked, why do you need to change it? If it ain't broke, don't try fixing it. And how it was before was perfect. So that leads me on to, well, what could they have done to fix this game? +1, -1 would have been perfect. You know, that would have been perfect for me. I love the fact that they've upgraded the map system. I think that's really, really good. I can't fault that at all. I think it's good. Now, if you go into the filters, so you know, if you say you only just want to play a tier 6 tank, say perhaps. So let's go down to tier 6. So I've highlighted the tier 6 now. If I come over and I want to say select the tank to play, so as before you would select it and you go, right, there's my tank I want to play. Let's hit that. Well, come on, why am I not going into battle? Why am I not going into battle? Because what you've got to do is you've got to go through even more steps now. So now from going to the filters, and there's the tanks there for all the tier 6s. So then you need to come all the way back out of there, and then that's when you get all your tier 6s. Then you've got to move along the icons to find the relevant tank that you want to play. Do you see what I mean by this? It's not good. I really genuinely, I don't think this is good for the game. I like the fact that, you know, you get your challenges and all the rest of it down the left-hand side of the screen. I like all of that. But let's take this into a game, and I'll show you what I'm talking about out on the battlefield, which, again, is something that I just don't like. And it's a shame because the concept of the game, as I've said many, many, many times before, I love the concept of the game, of the World War II themed battles taking place. I love that. But I've changed this over to the colourblind mode. Why? Because it makes it a little bit easier for me to spot the enemy. Whereas when it was yellow before, I didn't have a clue. I would be driving past somebody and I wouldn't even have a clue that they were on the enemy team. Now, another thing that I don't like is the fact is if I point my reticule at that tank there in front of me, the VK3002D, yes, it tells me that it's a VK3002D, but again, you know, with the enemy, take that as an enemy team, an enemy tank, it's very difficult to spot them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, it doesn't matter whether I get killed here or I'm not doing this just to try and have a really good game. All that comes later. This is just to try and highlight some of the issues. Now, I love the reticule. I like this. I do like this, but the downside to this is if there's an enemy vehicle out there, say the enemy vehicle is in that bush there, and he gets spotted, then in order for me to see what kind of tank he is, I then have to come forward, put myself in danger, put my reticule on the tank to see what kind of tank it is, to see what I'm going to be fighting against. And if you go into the main map, yes, they've added the information about where the different parts of the map are, but it just looks bland to me. Like it's got no colour. Like it's just boring. It's like a grey. I just don't like it. And then if you want to find out what players they are, you've got to then come over and you've got to highlight them all. And so this all takes time. Do you see what I mean? So if you look at my team's tanks, there's nothing to tell me who it is that's in that tank. It's just, I'm just guessing until I actually put my reticule on the tank. Then it'll tell me. And so for me, and the radial menu. So there's an enemy there. Now you'd been forgiven if you'd have got confused by that. So look, I'm getting shot at now by that guy down there, but I didn't see him, and this is the problem. So I'm thinking, well, what tank is it? I know it's a medium tank, but I need to know what it is and how much hit points he's got, if any. And I can't now, because what I've got to do is put myself into danger, look down there, see if I can see him, and he's disappeared. So if I get spotted, I need to go forward. Watch this. If I can spot him again, doesn't matter that I get killed. I'm just trying to highlight and show you what I'm talking about here. See, I've got the little eye information box. There's this thing there. There, he's come back again. So look, I now need to put myself into danger to highlight his tank in order to see what he is and to see how much health and that he's got left. And that's what I don't like about this. I think they've got this completely wrong. I do. I think they've got this completely wrong. Up until they've done like a very mini update where you're now seeing what damage you're doing on the top right hand side of your screen, and you can still change this over to the map, but the map was down in the bottom right hand corner, not up in the top left, so you're not getting the information. You're gonna you're having to look all over the place to try and work out what's going on. So for me, this is a big no-no. I think this is a major step backwards for wargaming. I really do. I mean, there's many other things within this update that I just don't like, and for me personally, I can't promote this game. I can't anymore. I'm fortunate enough that I've got a PC and I play World of Tanks on the PC, and I've got to be honest, I much prefer playing it on the PC now, by far. The playability is better. They listen to, or it seems to be that they listen more to the player base on the PC version than they do on the console. And I know things have to change from time to time, but for me personally, I just don't think this is a step in the right direction, if I'm being honest. I don't. I genuinely don't think this is a step in the right direction. If I was to change anything in this game, what would I change? Well, I would change the colours of the icons for starters. I'd change the colours of the map. I'd put the map back down in the right hand corner, and I would start adding a bit more information, a bit more detail, really, about the tanks, the gun elevation, all that kind of stuff, all the stuff that matters. But we'll see. Let's just see what happens. I only play this game for fun now. I'm not interested in stats or anything like that, and not that I ever have been. But for me personally, this is just more about just catching up with my mates on a night now. And we play a few games and then we go off and play something different, which is unheard of for both McClan and I. Normally we would play this, from say 8 p.m. at night right the way through till 2 a.m. in the morning, and just chew the cud and just talk rubbish and just have a good laugh and all that kind of stuff. Now we're more eager to move on to a different game than stay on World of Tanks. And so if it's doing that to my clan and myself, and also, if you go into the forums and see some of the responses that people have put, that will give you a very good idea as to what people's thoughts and feelings are on this update and this game in general. So for me personally, it's a no-no. But what do you think? What's your thoughts and feelings on it? Leave them in the comments below. But I'm going to leave it there because I just really wanted to highlight some of the problems that I'm finding with this update and what my thoughts and feelings are on it. But till the next one, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.